What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. I've heard a lot of people recently bring up, in the wake of the Lakers being down 0-3 to the Denver Nuggets and the potential of them getting swept or a gentleman's sweep, even if they were to take one game. And, people are talking about LeBron James and his legacy, and people are finding a good opportunity to throw daggers at LeBron because of his, performance. More importantly, the poor free throw shooting in the playoffs, especially in the fourth quarter. But for me, when I think about LeBron's legacy as it stands today and the outlook of LeBron James' legacy moving forward, I think if they get swept by the Denver Nuggets, I don't think this really does anything to the man's legacy. I feel like LeBron James, at this point in his career, I think his legacy, in my opinion, and where I have him placed among the pantheon of greats and how I view it, I think LeBron's legacy is pretty much set in stone. He's done a lot. He's had a lot of accomplishments. He's been the poster child for longevity and durability through his 20-year career so far. And I think his place in the history of the NBA and his legacy is set in stone. I don't think there's anything, no amount of failure that can happen to him in his career from this point on moving forward is going to jeopardize his legacy, in my opinion, and put any type of major blemish on how I currently see him and his placement in the history of the league and his legacy. There's nothing, no amount of failure. He can go on and miss the playoffs the rest of his career and average 15 points per game on 20% field goal percentage. There's nothing that he can incur all of that, and that's not going to jeopardize his legacy or make me look at his legacy in any type of lesser capacity of how I view it now. In fact, given the current situation, down 0-3 to the Denver Nuggets, I think LeBron James is actually in a good position as far as his legacy because, in my opinion, like I said, they get swept. I'm not going to think any less of the man or his legacy, to be honest. But if they were to come back from being down 3, well, now the narrative changes. Now this bolsters his legacy for a lot of people. Being the guy that potentially being the guy that spearheaded the only team to come back from a down, 3-0 deficit in the history of the league. LeBron James only has positive outlook coming out of this situation, how I see it. Only good can happen to his legacy coming from the situation. They lose, all right, not a blemish on his career, on his legacy. They pull this shit out of their ass. Damn, LeBron, year 20, leading them back against this Nuggets team, down 3-0. That's something you can add to your legacy. That bolsters your legacy. So he's in a good position right now, to be honest, how I see it. Very good position. There's only one way up from here, LeBron, up. Only one way up. Only one way. You can only capitalize on this situation. But no matter what happens, am I thinking any less of LeBron James and his legacy and his career? The only good can happen from here on out. Yeah, that's how I see it. His legacy is set in stone already. Anything else is icing on the cake at this point, how I see LeBron James' career and his legacy. Year 20, still doing what he's doing. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying he can't be open for criticism. You're still playing. You're still playing at a high level mostly. You get credit when you do things well, and then you take criticism when you don't do things well. I'm not saying he's not open for criticism. He should be criticized. You can't have your cake and eat it too. He should be criticized. But at the end of the day, is it going to severely tarnish his legacy in any type of way? No. No, I don't think so. He's done his due. He's put in his work. Some of us don't agree with how he did it. Some of us don't weigh his accomplishments as high as other people, considering the context and some of the things that's happened. So be it. But one thing you can't deny is that the man is an all-time great and has had one of the greatest careers in the history of the NBA. And where you want to place him is up to you. But I think the fact you can't deny that the man's an all-time great wherever you want to put him. I think that's undeniable. That's really all I gotta say about it, man. He can only capitalize on this current situation and his legacy as a whole moving forward. There's not a whole lot that can happen for me to be like something that'll change the outlook of his legacy in a negative way. Outside of hard evidence of him taking performance enhancing drugs, that's the only thing that I'll be like, everything that happened with LeBron, squash it, bro. He was under PEDs. He was under the influence. That's the only thing that can happen. But other than that, man, the dude's set in stone. I can't. Gotta say it. That's all I gotta say about it. Let me know what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your opinion. And the same for all the greats. When I look at all the other greats, and I always do this, I start closing out, and then I'd be like, oh, one more thing. Look at all the greats, things later in their career, they've incurred sustained injuries, all kinds of things, shell of themselves, maybe still great shells of themselves. But, I don't hold that against them so much. Kobe, torn Achilles, broken knee, broken shoulder, was a shell of himself the last couple of years. It's not a blemish on his legacy. I get it. Larry Bird is back. Michael Jordan's knee with the Wizards. I don't hold that stuff against him, man. Magic Johnson, his situation. It is what it is. Now I'm closing. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.